Hey everyone, today we're talking about the squirrel baffle video that I did, I don't know, maybe last year. People had some comments on it, some feedback, and one question I saw a couple times was people just saying like, oh, the baffle might work some of the time, but the squirrels can just jump up to the feeder. And I want to address that and just kind of give more suggestions. So if you're finding that your squirrels are still able to jump up from the ground to the feeder, your feeder is too low. You need to either put like how I do, my tall feeders are on the taller part of the hook so that they're not hanging down as low where a squirrel could jump up. So you'll notice that I'll typically put my shorter feeders on the shorter hooks. Honestly, this hook is kind of a bad example because squirrels don't like Niger seed or safflower, so this one's a bit irrelevant. But I will say, a couple weeks ago, this tray feeder was on this hook, and I would see a squirrel sitting in the tray feeder. And my husband also saw it, and we were like, what is going on? Like, is it getting past the baffle somehow? What's going on? And then both of us on different days, individually one another, witnessed the squirrel jumping from this tree. It would climb on like one of these branches and then jump down. So you have to be really cognizant of where your hooks are being placed, where your feeders are being placed, and you really need to think like a squirrel and really try to problem solve these issues that will come up. Squirrels can jump up from the ground like 4 to 5 feet. So your feeders can't hang down that low. They need to be up taller. They can also crawl up the hook, and that's why we have the baffle. See the baffle video for how to do that and for how it works. But basically, they can't push it up. They can't jump past it because it's too long of a distance to jump past. Like, what are they gonna do? Jump here and then make a C-shaped arc and jump above it? No, doesn't happen. I've had these baffles on my hooks for probably 3 years now. Never has a squirrel gotten past the baffle. Like I said, they've jumped down from the tree, they've jumped up from the ground if it's hung too low, so you need to problem solve. There's a little goldfinch. But yes, the point being is your hanging hooks or your feeders, they can't be under a place where a squirrel can drop down like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. They can't be down low where a squirrel can just jump up 4 to 5 feet from the ground. So you literally have to like measure up the pole, make sure that that baffle is sitting between like 4 and 5 feet. And again, if you're finding that your squirrels are somehow getting past, just look and evaluate and problem solve for what's going on. I can again just say, although these baffles look really tattered and terrible, they're like covered in pollen. The tape is coming off of some of them. They have like suet drip down onto them. They still work really well because ultimately the squirrel just literally can't grasp onto this plastic and it can't get past it. So if you need to protect high value food from squirrels, I highly recommend these baffles. As you can see on something like this is like more of an oriole feeding station. I'll often put my hummingbird feeder out here as well. Squirrels don't care about nectar, they don't care about jam, they don't care about oranges. So for feeding, oh, there's a bird right there. For feeder types that you don't even need to protect from squirrels, obviously don't waste your time in putting a baffle there. Okay, I'm gonna go watch some birds, I guess. Let me know if you guys have any questions about this. And if you want more bird feeding content and like backyard bird feeding content, bird watching content, I would love to make that, because especially if it's just informal like this, because guys, these videos are so quick and simple for me to make. I don't need to do any editing. There's a squirrel right there. It's so like enjoyable for me to talk about this. I absolutely love backyard bird feeding and problem solving and just watching all these birds have a supplemental food source. It's really great. All right, I will stop rambling. Hope you guys have a great day or night whenever you watch this. I'll see you in another video.